Hey, what's up, guys? Got another deck list here for you today. This is one energetic Piccolo list that I've kind of been playing a little here and there. It's kind of like more like I think it's more of a troll deck, but I've been playing a lot with Shane and Eric on Octagon lately, and they've all been playing, and me included, have been playing a lot of orange. They've been playing more adept and energetic, where I've been playing a lot of combative, but some energetic, and I'm pretty much convinced that energetic anger works with like anybody, especially with ever since like the Vegeta nerf. I'm kind of on a quest to find who's like the kind of like the best anger MPs, and I've seen really good results with Videl and Yajirobe and um, 13 and other MPs. I know people have been playing Trunks and other things, and I've been making some of their lists too. But this, of course, is one of the first ones I made, just as a quick deck. The deck's pretty straightforward. I actually just did some changes to it. I've been finding that the best way to go is just to go pure physical, pretty much. I had Orange Rage in here, could come back. I ended up cutting it just now to throw into Bicycle Kick and throw Orange Extension in. Just being able to put the pressure on with the stage beats on top of the Disaster Drill tutoring is huge. Also being able to use things like Orange Beatdown to keep those Disaster Drills is huge. Just huge. I just keep saying the word huge, but there's just so much stupid amount of anger that you can keep Disaster Drill out. It's the most consistent anger route for Orange. Not to mention that you push a good beat down win con on top of Piccolo putting stage mods on his 2 and on his 4, his level 3 being a big AT6. Pretty much this entire Revelation stack, uh, I really do enjoy. I was at Revelation Escalation, by the way, the set 10. I really do like most of the stack except his level 1. I opted to use the Evolution one. I'd honestly rather have a blank power that pretty much never does anything. There's pretty much nothing that's going to be getting you the double anger with this stack. The only cards that can really get you the anger are going to be Orange Energy Absorption and the Mastery. I guess you could run one of the other level ones, but this one's got decent ET, and it also, I don't know. I just did not like the 8 stages hit you discard a card. Like, no thanks. I don't like it. There's just not enough cards in this deck that utilize discard effects for it to be worth it to me. Not to mention you have to banish your top of pile, which you might not always want to do. But anyway, deck works pretty decent. I've won some games with it. I've only put probably like 3 or 4 games on it, but I figured I'd share this list again. Maybe you can build up a better list. Like I said, I had Orange Rage in here, was a card I really liked. I have Point Blank Volley, which I've really liked in this deck. Um, you could definitely always pitch it to Mastery, worst case scenario, if it's a dead card, or you could just filter it away with your level 2 and 3, which is really, really nice. Again, the big thing is I made a post or comment on a post about it, but Piccolo just really needs to get off 1. He really just could use a more competitive level 1, and he'd have a very good stack, very, very good contender, but he filters through his deck very fast on 2 and 3, not to mention the discard outlet on the Energetic Mastery, so you're going to be running through your deck pretty quick. There are 2 possession drills. Sorry, don't mind me if yawning, but there are 2 possession drills in the deck. I almost want to go to like 3, just to really emphasize the drawing part, but I think where the drill line is at is pretty good. Maybe a third disaster drill at best, but I had crying drill, which I ended up putting investigation drill instead. I just never used crying drill, pretty much ever. Investigation drill helps against the anti-anger matchup, but we'll start. I suppose we'll just start with the drills. I normally start with over here, but of course, investigation drill is I think a card that not a lot of people I still see are playing in their orange anger decks. It's a huge counter card to blue head knock. It doesn't stop like Black Trick Shot, obviously, but it helps against a lot of good anti-anger cards in the game. There's so many anti-anger cards that are like lower 2 or 3 anger, like Sand Burst, Blue Head Knock. We have, I'm trying to think of some other ones here. And there's like Blue Slap is lower anger 2, Concussive Strike is a lower anger 2, all the Deborah Sword cards are lower anger 2. Not that he gets played too much. There's like Orange 5 Finger Blast, lower anger 2. There's a fair amount of like lower anger 2, 3 cards that do get played. I don't know why I can't think of them, too many of them right now, but this card counters them pretty nicely. You also have the entering play to banish attach card, which is really good in the right matchup. Same thing with exam drill, having the answer play kill an ally, but this also gives you some additional anger on hit, which is really nice. Um, there's not a ton of hit cards here, unfortunately. There's like these 3. So I don't know. I haven't really gotten a ton of use out of this. don't know. I'm not the biggest fan of it. Be totally real with you, this card could definitely get cut for something else. Even when I had, or well, I guess Orange Rage didn't do anything with this either. So this is definitely kind of a relic card. This could really, really see a cut. There's just not enough that utilizes it, but I just don't have a better slot card for it right now. Maybe like a third Bite Kick or a third Rising Punch, but ideally, I think that the amount of dead cards is pretty decent in this deck. You can filter them out if you draw them. So we also have the two block drills, of course, staple, and then the checkup drill, possession drill, staple pretty much. Possession drill at 2, like I said, drawing and filtering hand is very key here. Again, makes me want to have Orange Rage because even when I got stage locked, I could pitch it. But and then I also have Disaster Drill too. So and then 2 Orange Encouragement helps me get my drills back. So the only drills that I'm really trying to play around are Possession and Disaster. Having those two out is huge, and Encouragement helps with that. Same thing with Refocus here, and some of my other drill tutors. We'll just roll right into the block line, but it's pretty light. I had 2 confidence in here too. I cut them, don't need them. Piccolo gain stages on his level 2, his level 3, the mastery. I cut rage. Like, just, I don't need that much physical blockage. Not necessary. Could always go back, but I think this is fine. Even though I usually just drop sidestep to the mastery or the level 2, I just think you're better off throwing attacks. Not to mention, you get to start the game with a block. You have stage gain. You have leveling. But pretty basic. This is like always what you're going to be seeing. These 2 blocks here in every orange energetic anger deck. I run energy absorption just to try to give some extra comboing with a level 1. I don't know. Is it worth it? I don't know. Energy catch is really nice. Orange flea is cool in theory, but this deck is just trying to be an anger deck. You could beat down somebody, but orange flea could make it in. I don't know. If more energy decks ever make a comeback, would be a consideration to throw that in here as well. I did 2 or 3. Just roll right into the advance 3 time. Oops, sorry, this should be 3 confrontation and 3 weighted clothing. Confer is like a pseudo block, and weighted clothing, of course, gives you some nuttiness when those start getting slapped out of your deck, and you just pop them to get a random level out of nowhere. Gives you a lot of momentum. Knowing when to play these properly and use them properly is huge with Piccolo. I think that's one of the things that separates good bad Piccolo players. But with the amount of banish pile hate in the game, you can't get too complacent with these. So just something to consider. But whoops, this should not be 3. Of course, staple cards. So we have the energy tax. I'll just run through real quick. But 3 eruption, 2 stare down, 3 point blank. Point blank just gets another card in your hand which you can kick out of the way with either possession or your levels, mastery, whatever, at the very worst. But it is a potential 2 anger card. So free card in hand, always good. 2 anger eruption, 2 anger swing. Again, anchors the focus. And then 2 stare down. Could go to 3. This deck's just trying to go very fast and get anger. I say that, and then again, I added some cards that don't necessarily give anger in some slots. I'll talk about those cards that I added. Haven't played with them yet, but I think they're just pivotal. I think the biggest thing is you can't run orange. I believe it is. Oh my god, I was literally looking at the card. I feel so bad. I'm sorry, Jeff. So Jeff Sosa made the orange physical. That is raise anger 1, lower anger 1. But if hits, you have to discard every time you draw, and this deck does a lot of drawing. So you kind of are forced to use orange stare down because that card just hurts the deck too much. You're going to be drawing levels 2 and 3 and pitching with mastery to get draws with sidestep and things. So just not feasible. But we go into the physical block or physical attack lineup, but again, this is where it's kind of supposed to be saturated. Again, the best orange anger cards are the physicals. They're free. They combo well with each other. We have Devastating Blow, though, to start off. Of course, I'm talking about orange, but having some pilot's really good. Anti-anger, it's just a good card. Really good card in the meta. Always a good card. I love Dev Blow. But we have 3 orange collision, 3 orange stretch. Collision, of course, getting a drill tutor from pile. We have 3 orange extension, drill tutor from deck. 3 elbow rush, drill tutor from deck. So 9 of the attacks, drill tutor. We have bicycle kick, which is a pseudo drill tutor at 2, which I just added in. You're not really trying to loop too much, but to be able to get checkup drill, disaster drill, or possession drill, you need them at the right timing is really good. But we have 3 orange stretches, the main key combo card, physical attack that you always want to see. Between this, beatdown, which is a 2 anger card, and then also orange charged kick, which is a 2 anger card. Charged kick has a lot of synergy with this deck. Being able to put the drill in your hand, pitch it to your levels for free attack or draw, but also being able to kick it into hand to then possession drill it away, really, really good. But orange beatdown, keeping your disaster drill and your possession drills between levels is always really good. Investigation drill as well. I have Rising Punch just because it's an anger card. Sometimes it's a draw. Not always, but again, we want to draw. Maybe it could go to 3. The level is, or sorry, rather the meta is pretty level heavy. So just things to consider. But this list works pretty decent. It's pretty much a shell that I would throw for most orange anger decks. Sans maybe Point Blank Volley and Eruption. I would definitely not throw in every orange anger deck. Orange Stare Down, I think, still needs to make its way in most orange anger decks. But for the most part, this lineup here, maybe 3 Bite Kick for a lot of the other orange anger decks would be ideal. But this is a pretty solid lineup here. The block lineup is pretty solid for the most part. The or energy block would be the one that I could see floating around between energy catch and flee. Of course, these events are really good. Or stare down, sub out for Confra. I don't really think orange energy needs a sphere, but that's me. You're just generally super aggressive. I think stare down Confra is way better. That's my thinking though. You don't. I guess there just aren't too many events that you're too worried about in my mind. And like I said, the drill package is pretty much set. But you'll see me running a list similar like this, probably trying to figure out what I think about energetic anger MPs and see who I think is the best. But I have a Vegeta deck made. I also have, I think that's the only other anger deck that I have list for right now. But anyway, it's kind of a fun list. If you want to play Piccolo, this could be something fun. Orange just immediately gives so many MPs such a higher floor than most other masteries and styles. There's just so many stupid things to abuse. There really aren't any combos that Piccolo particularly like abuses. Orange Sidestep and Stretch are the best 2 cards in the deck that you want to see. Otherwise, everything else is pretty standard. And then you just hope that your opponent's sack hits a couple of weighted clothings. But what is nice is Piccolo 3 and 2 giving you just some hand filtering and drawing, which isn't the worst thing in the world. But there are better, I think, anger MPs than Piccolo. I think Piccolo's biggest strength is just sacking some weighted clothings randomly. But you got to get off the fucking level 1. This deck just sucks if you get stuck on 1 for more in a combat. But Orange Energetic has enough answers to enough anger. So, but anyway, guys, try it out. Get out there, test some shit. The most I can say, honestly. Plenty of fun little goofy ass decks you can play. I'm swearing a bunch, but honestly, like there's just so much fun to be had with the game right now. Just go out there, bust it open, find something that works, run it, see how it goes. But anyways, take it easy and peace.